pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl, somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature, that mean extorted it. They forging it, if news ain't good informants who informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this reporting ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informant disinforming this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers actors say they high, say they sip with pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?
Oh, hey, what's up, guys? I just read a comment. Why do you always play this urban stuff? Bruh, that's me. This is my, I don't know if you noticed, but this is my channel. If you look right below where I'm talking right now, there'll be a name of the channel. And if you look at it, that's actually my name because this is my channel, you know? And so that's probably the main reason that I play what I choose to, if I was going to guess. And it's me in the song that I made with some gaming headphones outside in the wind. So anyway, what's up, everybody? Shout out to all the legends in D Live. What's up? Someone said D Live started censoring. I hope that's not true. My goodness. Get them thumbs up. Yeah, we got 23 thumbs up. That's pretty terrible. All right, so The Great Reset is the title of the stream. Quite a bit of gravy. Some things we've already covered if you've been watching the streams lately, but we're going to put them together. I actually had intentions to do a totally different subject, but I don't want to rush it. I'll give you all a little bit of what it is, but so I really want to go out and test it and compile data myself before I want to figure out what's going on. But the idea being, so is the sun actually the sole source of light that we have on the earth? And so, you know, you get sunlight in the morning before the sun is actually in the sky. There's numerous possible explanations, but the crazy part is that light before the sun's up in the sky doesn't cast shadows. So say 5 in the morning, you won't get any shadows. So what's different about that light than the sunlight? Or are they the same thing? And then it gets into a whole bunch of gravy. So not going to do that one yet because I want to look into it a little bit more, but trust me, a lot of gravy there. A lot of gravy. Anyway, so we're going to talk about the Great Reset of Clown World itself. I think the best thing to do is just get into it. So Shout out to all the legends that support. Links in the description. And we're just going to get into the gravy. So, in a world where everyone uses Google. All right, so I'll get a little preface here. We're going to go over a couple of the things, right? Everyone knows, obviously, because they all live in clown world, that the last year has been wildly insane. There's 100 people here. I waited a little bit. We got people in D-Live too. We're just gonna get into it. So everyone's like, "Oh, 2020 was so crazy. Now we got 2021." Right. So glad 2020 is over. Oh, that was a crazy year. The year isn't over there. It doesn't start until spring. Now, this is important because when did COVID really start? Did it start in December? No, it didn't start in January or February either. Whenever it got shoved down our throats and it was getting real and all of a sudden we got to shut everything down, that happened in March, the beginning of the year. And so if you understand that, then you know that, well, if it gets wild over the next 3 months, if this really starts to ramp up or they pull some more stuff out of the hat, well, that would just be a strong end to the year. They haven't even done the full year. And by the way, the full year is to just lead into what we're discussing tonight. It's to help set the foundation. So just to understand the way that they see it, because of course they have a more accurate interpretation and quantification of the sky than dumb, stupid humans that think they're smart. And so they know that the year, we have basically a quarter left. What people normally call the first quarter is the end of the year. Okay, so how are they going to finish the year off? Keep that in mind. People think, oh, that was 2020. What do they got in plan for 2021? Oh, we have no idea. We haven't finished 2020 yet. And that's not the actual year, of course. Anyway, so clown world, the whole world shut down. They told us air is going to kill us. We got to start wearing face diapers to go in places. They started scanning our foreheads as we went in. So basically flirting with the idea you can't buy or sell and go into places to buy things unless you have some identifier that allows you to do this was a face diaper. And then they started scanning people's heads, literally scanning people's heads. So either they're trolling you with revelation or something's going on. But either way, we all know what's going on. This is what we're talking about. Did this really pop out of nowhere and all of a sudden people started dying? Was all of this some organic reaction to something that's going to kill us all and presented some existential threat? Of course not, but let's just look at a couple of the reasons why it's just preposterous to think like that. This song came out 2013, 7 years ago. Most of y'all have probably seen it, but listen very carefully to the lyrics. The 2020 combined with coronavirus, body stack, and the song came from 7 years ago. Okay, probably just coincidence. This dude called the year and everything. What's the 2020 quarter? Oh, it's a bet. No, this is predetermined years in advance, and the 2020 U.S. quarter is a freaking bet. And then they tell you that some virus came because someone ate some bat soup or something. So this is probably just another coincidence that the literal quarter for this year is a freaking bet. Okay, well, let's just move on. In a world...
Disneyland is closing down tomorrow to help limit the spread of coronavirus.
This is only the fourth time the park is shut down like this, and they will be closed tomorrow through the end of March. Now, Disneyland says there have been no reported cases of COVID-19 at Disneyland Resort, so this is in response to the state's request to limit social gatherings to no more than 250 people. The closure will affect Disneyland Park and Disney California Adventure, but downtown Disney will remain open. This isn't the only Disney property to shut its doors. Disney World in Florida, Disneyland Paris will shut down Sunday, and the Disney Cruise Line is suspending all new departures starting Saturday.
After being on a long and exciting adventure, sometimes it's good to get back home, to appreciate just what you've got.
This is, of course, the movie Tangled about Rapunzel. Came out years ago.
So where in the world is Rapunzel? Corona, an amazing city. Rediscover its charming neighborhoods, incredible shops. How can I help? And some nice shopkeepers.
Of course, the grab was wearing a creepy little hat.
Some nice shopkeepers.
That one fell on the floor.
You can also
What a
visit the famous
slut.
hairdresser of the- You can also visit the famous hairdresser of the city. He is very stylish.
And there we are. Ladies and gentlemen, take your seats.
And if the mood takes you, why not join in at the local festivities?
You know, they put you up here so you can see all the action.
Really? Kind of fun.
Meet the legendary people of Corona. And if you're feeling brave enough, you can participate too.
Oh, Plug, what have you done?
Did I not bring enough of the popcorn? Now that you've recharged your batteries, you'll be ready to take to the skies on another adventure.
More akin to ancient maps, of course. Corona! Oh, a statue.
No offense to any of you people, but we have been together for way too long, and I need a break from your faces. Except for you, of course, Rapunzel.
I can't believe how much I missed home. Home. Oh, how I've missed everything so much. I missed the bookstore. And I missed the fountain. Oh, I missed the sweet shop and bakery. Yum.
You know what I miss about Corona? The people. In fact, I'm still missing the people.
There you go. So, predictive programming all throughout it. Rapunzel literally lives in Corona, where she's quarantined for 17 years, and the entire town is abandoned because, well, they shut the whole world down, and people listen to the government nowadays as if they're their freaking masters. Moving on. People on Twitter found a connection between Tangled and coronavirus quarantine. So, we just covered this, but, you know, it's really simple. Like, I'm watching Tangled, and I can't believe Rapunzel practiced social distancing in a tower away from the village of Corona. Thank you, social media, for reminding me that Rapunzel was locked in a tower in the kingdom of Corona for 17 years. Just saw a tweet about how Rapunzel was quarantined in her tower in the kingdom in Tangled is called Corona. Okay, so this is probably just a coincidence, though. No big deal. So we've covered like what, 3 like impossible to explain coincidences, but there's no way this was all planned and Air really decided to start killing people for the first time in history in 2020. Moving on. Fact check. Netflix Korean drama predicted coronavirus outbreak in 2018. Okay, let's see. No
Hey
way.
guys, I just want to show you something on Netflix. This movie was done in 2018. It's a Chinese movie. It's subtitled in English as well. Just want to pay attention to this. I'm going to press play. It's basically the first season, the 10th episode. And at the end of that couple minutes of playing, I want to show you the name of the movie as well. So here we go and watch this.
That's so funny. Think about how true this is. Like, what they call viruses is nothing more than genetic structures, genetic sequences. Look what it says. They all fall in the same family with the same gene information. Who told her that haircut was the way to go? It's a mutant virus. Oh, now they're telling us it's mutating. Just another coincidence, probably, though. Yeah, that's probably just another coincidence. I see in the chat. Let's cover a few I don't have pulled up. So, yeah, we got the movie Contagion, of course, just straight up tells you what's going to happen. V for Vendetta tells you about a virus and how they are rebelling against the system. There's another TV show called Ozark, where in recent episodes before this all popped off, he literally had to quarantine himself. And then it shows you the cover of the TV series is money with a crow on it, of course, symbolizing the death of the dollar. All right, cool. Y'all got some more. I mean, it's literally everywhere. It's like it's everywhere. It's in the Big Bang Theory. It's got PCR testing equals DNA testing on the back the blackboard behind them. We've got so many things. It's ridiculous. Of course, we could look at I guess we could look at this. I don't know why someone told me to look at that, but what's the I don't know what it's called, dude. That's pretty good. All right, I'm over it. Anyway, there was we all know about it. There was some money printed with a queen on it. It shows this freaking tower with coronavirus. UK $10, I think. I saw it go. We're just moving on. Who cares? It's obvious. They printed on the freaking money. That's how pre-planned this all was. Oh, but this is probably all just coincidence. There's no way this was planned, right? Rockefeller Foundation, scenarios for the future of technology and international development. If you somehow have not seen this yet, I don't know where you've been. May 2010, it literally predicts every single thing that we're going through right now. Every single thing. And tells you the stages and how many different waves there's going to be, what they're going to do. Further reading on technology and development. I mean, literally to a T, they explain everything that's happening right now. That's what they explain. And how it gets integrated into a new electronic surveillance system. This was printed in 2010 by the Rockefeller Foundation. And I'll link it in the description. So if y'all want to explain to me how they predicted what's going on right now to a T and what they're going to come in to fix it with in 2010, and it's just coincidence. Okay, well, you sound like a coincidence there so far. The Great Reset, I just typed hit news. It's everywhere. 2021 should be the year of the Great Reset. Great Reset. Oh, we need a socialist reset. Oh, Great Reset begins. Wall Street greenlights move out of non-sustainable assets in $120 trillion transformation. Oh, the coronavirus pandemic Great Reset theory. Oh, the Great Reset's conspiracy. But literally, it's in all of the freaking news articles. It has been for a long time. It was on, Times Square. It was on a billboard in Times Square. We support the Great Reset. So, they don't want a Great Reset, though. They're just kidding. It's just coincidence. Moving on. Oh, World Economic Forum, the Great Reset. There's an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate in simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the COVID-19 virus, also known as the Holocaust, to improve the state of the world. The World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. Oh, the Holocaust crisis and the political, economic, and social disruptions it has caused is fundamentally changing the traditional context for decision-making. The inconsistencies, inadequacies, and contradictions of multiple systems, from health and financial to energy and education, are more exposed than ever amidst a global context of concern for lives, livelihoods, and the planet. Golly, how many times you got to say globe and planet, bro? Leaders find themselves at a historic crossroads, managing short-term pressures against medium and long-term uncertainties. The opportunity we have as we enter a unique window of opportunity to shape the recovery, this initiative will offer insights to help inform all those determining the future state of global relations. The future state of global relations, the direction of national economies, the priorities of societies, the nature of business models, and the management of a global commons. Drawing from the vision and the vast expertise of the leaders engaged across the forum's communities, the Great Reset Initiative has a set of dimensions to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being. This isn't creepy at all. I'll link it. You can just go read how creepy they are forever. Okay, so they clearly do want a great reset. They're timing it up right now. They say that this is the time it needs to happen. They say perfect timing or whatever. It needs to happen because of the virus. So they planned this whole narrative out and conditioned you with all kinds of media that they were going to do it for years and years and years and years. And now they're conveniently using that same story as justification to reset the entire infrastructure, including the monetary and economic infrastructure. And again, they literally showed you in your face that this was their plan for years and years and years and years before it ever happened. To think it randomly happened is stupid. So they're saying, oh, look, the virus popped out of nowhere. We should use this opportunity for a great reset. And we know it didn't pop out of nowhere. So what does that mean? That this was all orchestrated for the Great Reset. It's just an infrastructure update. Shout out to my boys at TV and me. Smash the like, please. Indeed. Or some people call it the Rogan's up because Joe Rogan looks like a human thumb. And he's just a little sodomite that's like 3 foot tall that runs around talking about bump pumping and taking DMT. But thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated, my man. All right. So if they've clearly set this up and they've set it up because they have the solution, it's the Hegelian dialectic, problem, reaction, solution. Problem, the air is going to kill you now all of a sudden, even though it never has been like that ever, and viruses aren't even alive. Okay, so the air is going to kill you. There's the problem, reaction. Everyone freaks out. We make them freak out even more because we cripple their ability to support themselves. We cripple their companies. We take away all of their freedoms. We make them cram themselves up in the house. We separate them from family time. We give them overarching totalitarian measurements from the government that we can't enforce, but they'll cut to anyway. And then, of course, via this manipulation of the problem and the reaction, people are just going crazy, and they would just about do anything to just go back to normal at this point. Well, no big deal. We got the solution for you. We're going to come in and we're just going to use this as a positive thing, right? Because we needed to do this anyway because we were trillions of dollars in debt. We'll just start up a new economic system and a new media system and a new CIA, and an FBI, a new intel system. So every single part of this will be updated. It will appear as if it's coincidental. It will happen all over the world at the same time. And it was all crafted. This was probably written in the script like 30, 40 years ago. Like legit 30, 40 years ago. Of course, the coronavirus also predicted in a book written in like the 70s, right? Straight up tells you it's going to come from China. A bunch of people are supposedly going to die. It's going to be like a respiratory illness. It's going to happen in the year 2020. Like you can't even make this stuff up. If we were going to talk about predictive programming for corona, that itself would be a stream, but I digress. So 25 Rogans. We got 25 Rogans. Pathetic. Shout out to all the legends in D-Live. Thanks for the lemons. Yeah, thank you guys. Y'all are legends. They're really pushing the UFO D class hard. Did you look at my tabs or something, bro? You think you're slick, don't you? In a world where grabblers think they're entitled to telling us little goy on how to live, they want a great reset. I wonder, how could they ever pull? They could never pull that off. How could they ever have this great reset where they determine the state of future global relations, the direction of national economies, the priority of societies, the nature of business models, and the management of global comics? How could you ever pull that? This can't. You can't do. Oh, we'll just have to ID everyone so we can literally track everyone, even in remote areas of the world. And conveniently, this comes out in 2020. Purely coincidence. Purely coincidence that the year of the Holocaust, that again was obviously planned, the year that they keep talking about the Great Reset, is the same year that all of a sudden they say it's super important that we progress and we have digital identification, ID 2020, where everybody can immediately be access to all of their medical records, et cetera, et cetera. So this is how we're going to get together as a people and make improvements in the world. For the 1 in 7 people globally who lacks the means to prove their identity, digital ID offers access to vital societal services and enables them to exercise their rights as citizens and voters and participate in the modern economy. But doing digital ID right means protecting civil liberties and putting control over personal data back where it belongs, in the hands of the individual. If you think this is legit, my goodness, why don't you just go out into the street and play tag with traffic. You're an idiot. Every day we rely on a variety of forms of identification to go about our lives. Our driver's license, passport, work badge, and building access cards, debit and credit cards, transit passes, and more. And soon to be a little stamp you can't even see with the naked eye. Let's come back over here real fast. I'm going to super chats. Under the tree fitty. Thank you very much, my man. Commercial sound and video. All support is appreciated. I do indeed appreciate you, my man, for the super chat. Much love. Nice job on modern day debate. Thank you, Michael Lyon, for the super chat. I appreciate it. Trying to approach to be like real laid back, and I felt bad for that guy, and I'm over the animosity and stuff, but glad you enjoyed. I think it went all right. In a world where they're literally just trying to give everyone in the world a freaking ID, a digital ID. Like everyone in the world needs a digital ID apparently, and this is just coincidence that it's ID 2020. So okay, well, is someone please keeping up with the coincidences? All right, let's move forward. Oh, same exact year, just another coincidence that in the same year. 2020, 06, probably another coincidence. Cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Okay, so we got human body activity associated with a task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicatively coupled to the server. A sensor communicatively coupled to or compromised in the device of the user may sense body activity of the user. Let's read that again. A sensor communicatively coupled to or compromised in the device of the user may sense body activity of the user. Body activity data may be generated based on the sensed body activity of the user. The cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system. I guess I'll read that part again too. So the cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified, i.e. compliant with the conditions set in the algorithm. If this isn't Orwellian, I don't know what you think this is. Literally, it's going to track your body activity with a device in your body, sensor, user device, communication network, cryptocurrency system, a connection to the cloud. It actually tracks your body activity, and then it actually rewards you cryptocurrency based on compliant body activity. Now, the question here is what kind of device could ever do this? This is a patent, patenology for the device outside of the tracking itself, right? So this is utilizing the device that is pre-existing this patent. And then this is simply the technology to connect the device and the body activity to the cloud, and then to have it reward you with cryptocurrency based on body activity algorithms. That's all this is. So you still would need a way to have the device in the person itself and track the body activity intricately. So this is just a coincidence that it's again in 2020 and it's 06, the same year as ID 2020, the same year as the Great Reset being pushed by the World Economic Forum, and the same year where everywhere you look, it's just Great Reset, and then we're following the exact same script of the Rockefeller Foundation written in 2010, and this was predicted by every freaking mainstream type of predictive programming you can think of. But this is probably also a coincidence. They can't do anything with this, though, right? I mean, yeah, they want to take over the whole world and have a great reset, but they don't even know how to track everyone. Oh, well, they want to put ID 2020 out where they literally track every single person, but they can't do that without some way of tracking everybody, connecting it to a cloud system. Oh, well, yeah, they put it out this year, this patent for literally tracking people's body activity, connecting to a cloud system where they're effectively a robot and they have to obey the algorithmic rules to get paid. But I mean, come on, they could never pull that off, because they wouldn't have a network system to be able to integrate this in. Oh, that's right. We're putting 5G all over the world with download speeds literally not even close to comparable to anything that we have at the moment. And this would, increase capabilities of surveillance and algorithmic deductions and, of course, facilitation of cryptocurrency exponentially. And so this is a coincidence that 2020 is where we've had the most 5G infrastructure installed around the entire world ever in the history of mankind. So, they may want the Great Reset. They may ID every single person with a digital ID. They may actually connect this digital ID system to your body activity, connecting you to the cloud and rewarding you if you're compliant. And they may even have the network system that can have the download speed capabilities to integrate this system all over the world that they're just putting out in the same year that they've released the information about all the other components of it, literally all within the same year. But there's no way, because you just got download speeds on the ground here. You have topographical obstructions. You have capability of destruction of people that catch on. So there's no way they can fully integrate the surveillance system just with 5G towers, right? I mean, oh, that's right. They put Starlink satellites, quote unquote, all throughout the sky this year too. So just a coincidence again that as they set up all this other infrastructure and released patents for all the technology of tracking you within this infrastructure, coincidentally, they decided same year, it's time that we put quote-unquote satellites all in the sky so that we can create a network system of Starlinks, and then we can bring you internet, even though the internet's not as fast as the one that's on the ground, with performance that far surpasses that traditional satellite internet, which is absolutely trash, and no one uses that anyway. And that's not even, satellites aren't what you think they are. So they're definitely not in the medium they claim they are. There's probably self-sustaining drones up there half the time. Half of them were connected to balloons. The point is, the internet's not even efficient. It's not even good. It's nowhere even the ballpark of what we have right now on the ground when it comes to latency and download speed. So why did you have to put this up? Oh, well, it's just probably another coincidence that they put the entire surveillance system and all the technological capabilities that need to be updated within the infrastructure and rolled it all out at the same time when they told everyone to go into the house. But it's probably just a coincidence. So we'll move on. Because, yeah, even though let's just cover it again, right? So we have the Great Reset. Oh, they want to ID everyone. They can't do that. There are people that live in jungles. Oh, they want to literally ID everyone digitally, including people that live in jungles, so no one can get off the map. In 2020, ID 2020, it's no big deal. They couldn't do this. They couldn't connect us to the cloud. Oh, there's patenology showing you the technology literally does exist. And, of course, it came out in 2020. So they're going to connect us to this system after with the ID 2020, but they couldn't keep up with all the bandwidth capabilities. Oh, they're building an entire technological infrastructure for it. But that's just on the ground. Oh, they're putting it all in the sky as well. But, dude, there's no way you could actually even facilitate this type of technology within your body itself, right? There's no way this device could actually go into your body and track your body activity and pay you cryptocurrency. This is science fiction. Oh, quantum dot tattoo, been worked on for over 2 decades at this point. Instead of ink, this is highly specific medical record consists of copper-based quantum dots embedded in biocompatible micron-scale capsules. Their near-infrared dye is invisible, but the pattern they set can be read and interpreted by a customized smartphone. Or i.e. you just download an app and you'll be able to see who has the mark. Probably just a coincidence that they put this mark right on your wrist, and it uses the luciferase enzyme to track body light activity, i.e. bioluminescence with nanoparticles. So an invisible tattoo that goes on your wrist that can actually track all of the body activity with a device in it using bioluminescence tracking the light activity. Oh, so they could track everything and then connect it to the cloud because, well, the actual device that's clearly stated that it's needed right here would be integrated via luciferase enzyme bioluminescence in the quantum. So all of this has come out into mainstream within the same year, right? All this has come out in the same year, and this is probably all just coincidence. They're not updating the infrastructure. They're just, hitting you over the head with this phrase over and over and over in all mainstream media. They've given you the guise of why it is that it's going to be okay because of the Holocaust. They conditioned us to accept this for years and years, which means they already knew about it, which means they already knew about the plan for the updated infrastructure and the tracking you all around. But anyway, we'll move on. So here's the next step of the Great Reset and the Great Deception that is coming. Let's check it out. In a world.
There are cases that are not explainable in conventional terms.
That have been made by credible observers of relatively incredible things.
We got right up to it, it lit up. Was this a warning? Was this an attempt to communicate?
Felt scared. I was running and playing, and then I saw this maroon color in the sky.
It was not anything from this earth.
He was looking at all of us. Maybe they're trying to communicate.
They were reaching out to us.
There is an immense array of unanswered questions and an urgent need to get to the bottom of it.
The public has a right to know.
My God! The question is no longer if they are here, But why?
What are they doing? What do they want from us? What are their motivations?
For over 75 years, there have been sightings in the sky.
The UFO shut down several missile silos in Montana.
Thousands of witnesses worldwide.
It had to be a data collection. I'm sure they scanned the warhead.
Just kind of hovering there. Never changed its longitudinal axis. And then it goes poof, and it takes off the side.
And high-level cover-ups.
The government was covering up what happened at Roswell.
Hiding these dark secrets.
I was told there wasn't anything there, when I knew there was.
People need to know there is something else out there.
Yes, there have been visitation, crashed craft, material recovered.
Shouldn't we be spending some money to study all these phenomena?
I knew this was breaking news for the front page of the New York Times.
They were trying to communicate, trying to tell us something.
Now it's time to tell people about it. These things are real. They're here. This is happening now.
Okay, so the sensationalism of the idea. That was probably the Holocaust. It was the Rona. I guess I'm going down. So this is what's on the horizon, of course. They're sensationalizing the idea of these light beings that are going to come back, but we're just crazy, right? So, all right, so integrated with this, just flooding us down with the idea of declassification of aliens. Of course, we have, at the same time of history, the first time ever, a new branch of the military, the Space Force.
Today, space is essential not only to our way of life, it's absolutely critical to the modern way of war. GPS, ATMs, cell phones, gas pumps, traffic lights, power grids, guided missiles, surveillance, RPAs, ground combat control. There's no such thing as a day without space operations. You just don't see them. Earth is only half the battle. Cyber attacks and jamming of our satellites. Microsatellites that can create a debris field. At 17,000 miles an hour, a piece of metal the size of a coin can be weaponized. Now is the time for a military branch with a clear and singular focus on space.
Oh my
A
gosh.
military branch that protects the hopes and dreams of America and our way of life as the space domain becomes more and more contested. It's time for another giant leap. The United States Space Force is being built from the brightest minds across the space operations of the Air Force, our joint services, and the private sector. We aren't just getting ready for the near future. We're getting ready for the 22nd century.
The near future.
When our enemies ask, what if? We will have an answer. When foreign powers can build bases on the dark side of the moon, when private companies are inventing a new economy beyond our planet, we need to stay one step ahead of the future. The future is where we'll make history. We will fight in an environment with no up or down, no left or right, where there are no borders and nowhere to hide. Our Space Force is defending our country, here on Earth and wherever our mission takes us. As commerce and exploration expand, we will imagine the unimaginable, anticipate the inconceivable, and prepare for the impossible. We won't just think outside the box. We'll think outside the atmosphere. In one of the most challenging environments ever known.
A vacuum. Okay, so what a cool story, you grabblers. So anyway, of course, the sensationalism of space. Once again, this is unprecedented levels going on here, and they run logistics with algorithms nowadays, and they know how many people don't trust NASA, so that means that they already know that they can fake stuff way better than anything that we've ever seen. They're going to wash their hands with NASA and start showing you space porn, and it's going to be the likes of which they've never, ever shown the people. It's going to be way, way higher quality CGI. And get ready, that's when all the Globers are going to come say, ha ha, stupid flat earthers, how you feel now? They're really going to just believe, they're going to believe the CGI is real. So just prepare yourself for that. I'll talk about XRP in a second. My throat's like stopped, cuff or whatever. Anyway, in a world where Fox has been telling you about UFOs for months now, trying to condition the mainstream to accept it. April 27th, UFO video. Pentagon releases footage of identified aerial phenomena, but says it's not out of the ordinary. Wait for it. Wow. Yep, the Navy released this. If you haven't seen it already. Oh, so the Navy. Shut up. So, whoa, what's going on? Let me out of here. All right, whatever, dude. Who cares? So, anyway, April, UFO, Fox. Let's go to, July. With Pentagon UFO unit in the spotlight, report mentions off-world vehicles not made on this earth. A Pentagon report. Here's another video, some more propaganda. Okay, so we go. We're going to go April, July. All right. Oh, this reports include an October 16, 2019 email exchange between high-ranking military officials. Leaked reports from Pentagon UFO task force discusses non-human technology, mysterious objects. December 4th. Yeah, if you think the mainstream freaking news channels are just shoving UFOs into your, subconscious for the last year for no reason, well, you probably think the air is going to kill you. Moving on, December 21st. Former CIA director says unexplained phenomena might constitute a different form of life. Okay, so there you go, December 21st. Yet again, Fox News telling you about how UFO this and UFO that, aliens this and aliens that. No one cares. You look like you're made of plastic. All right, let's move on to another article. I can't keep doing. 3 days ago, coronavirus bill started 180 days countdown for UFO disclosures. Of course, same article here. COVID bill includes 180-day countdown for Pentagon to make UFO disclosures. So keep in mind, I told you guys about the calendar. You're going to see a whole bunch of 180 days going on. This is, of course, exactly 6 months. Not in the freaking Julian or the Gregorian calendar, though, of course. But this is a literal 6-month period. 6 months of 30 days. This actually gets real prophetic, but anyway, we're not doing the Trump stream right now. So, coronavirus bill started 180 days countdown for UFO disclosures. Guys, what does this mean? Okay, they passed a stimulus bill, and in it gives a 180-day countdown and timeline for UFO disclosures in the coronavirus bill in 2020. This just happened. What? So let's just check out what's clearly going on right here, and then we're gonna get into the next video. We're gonna break down some real gravy.
Lucid Spark is the virtual whiteboard you.
Oh my gosh.
Visual.
We used to be defensive on this topic, but there's no reason to be. There is now an enormous amount of evidence, including physical evidence, that UFOs, whatever they are real. Why don't we know a lot more about this? Because the government has hidden that information from us, outrageously. But now some of that information has come into public view thanks to a new documentary called The Phenomenon. We learned the feds are hiding more than we thought they were.
All we're saying, nobody has to agree that why it's there, but shouldn't we at least be spending some money to study all these phenomena? Should we study this stuff? The answer is yes. And that's all this was about. And why the federal government all these years has covered up, put brake pads on everything, stopped it. I think it's very, very bad for our country.
Are you saying that there's some evidence that still hasn't seen the light of day?
I'm saying most of it hasn't seen the light of day.
It's outrageous. And it's not a partisan question, by the way. That, of course, was former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid of Nevada, a Democrat if there ever was one. But that's not even the biggest claim.
Dude, why does this dude look so not trustworthy to me? You know, like he just looks like he's being so fake. You know, when people try to tell me how well Tucker's the one that's based. No, he just has kids. He's just not completely sunken into degeneracy and depravity. Like, okay. Oh, he used his penis for what it's made for. He must be on our side.
According to the film, Reid said that UFOs have actually and repeatedly interfered with our nuclear weapons capabilities. So where are these UFOs from? Some researchers told the filmmakers that their origins are becoming clearer.
Dr. Jacques Vallée has collected purported metal debris from UFO cases dating as far back as 1947 that experts are analyzing in a state-of-the-art laboratory. He was astonished to find their composition was unlike any known metal.
Grabblers be grabbling.
Was manufactured. It's not natural. It's not natural to the materials that we have around us in the lab or on the Earth.
Yeah, physical evidence of extraterrestrial spaceships visiting Earth, not a big deal. It's nothing compared to like the fly on Mike Pence's forehead. If this wasn't an election year, we'd be doing.
You saw how smooth the wizardry is? If you think this dude's not a wizard that's been hired, I mean, please just stop watching porn or whatever. Listen to what he just did, dude.
Yeah, physical evidence of extraterrestrial spaceships visiting Earth, not a big deal. It's nothing compared to like the
physical evidence of extraterrestrial spaceships visiting Earth. Really? Really, Tucker? Really? Oh, this guy's based.
Fly on Mike Pence's forehead. If this wasn't an election year, we'd be doing a full hour on this, maybe a full week. It's that important. Unfortunately, we just have a few minutes with James Fox. He's the director and producer of the phenomenon, now Services, and Christopher Mellon, a former senior intelligence official from the Department of Defense. They join us tonight. Mr. Fox, first to you. Thank you both for coming on and for making this film. I just want to ask you
so much sodomy on one screen.
From the documentary. The first, to you, James Fox, is the question of the nuclear weapons facilities. How often do we think UFOs have visited and why?
Well, that was one of the big bombshells that Harry Reid dropped during production of the film. It really kind of caught me off guard because it's the first time, a government official of his magnitude, of his level, had revealed that these UFOs were not only seen over.
Tucker looks like I don't like the human personification of Eeyore.
Official of his off guard because
just look.
The first time, a government official of his magnitude, of his level, had.
Wait up. How do you even spell that? Dude, if you tell me that this is not Tucker Carlson, dude. This looks just like Tucker Carlson, dude. Dude, bro, like, look at him. We're just keep in mind this right here, this face. Let's save this picture for a second. All right. Let's check them out. This is not nice, Justin.
That these UFOs were not only seen over magnitude of his government official during. Production of the film. It really kind of caught me off guard because it's the first time.
Dude, Tucker is Eeyore. Dude, we broke the spell. You go out to the beach with them. It's just like a beautiful day. You're like, oh, wow, what a pretty day. And Tucker's like, there's a cloud. He's Eeyore.
A government official of his magnitude, of his level, had revealed that these UFOs were not only seen over, super secret nuclear weapons facilities, but they were interacting, shutting on and off some of the missiles. He went as far as even saying that if the president had called upon to have to launch the missiles in several occasions, they couldn't have done it. The missiles were deactivated. And this has also been happening in Russia and we document those cases very thoroughly with high-level military officials testifying.
Dude, you cannot tell me I'm the only one that sees it. It's the eyes.
It's beyond. Mr. Mellon, quickly to you, physical evidence of UFOs, metal from the craft, where?
Well, this is, my congratulations to James. This is the most informative and engaging documentary, an important documentary on this subject, because it's no longer a theoretical issue, as you observed. This is now the Defense Department has confirmed this is happening. Theoretical issue, as you observed. This is
unleashed on the world at exactly the right time.
Happening. Congress is asking questions. They're asking for a report. So this...
Oh, the Jesuit War Room.
This information, people need to get an understanding and a context with which to sort of process and absorb this. In terms of the materials, there are private researchers, Jacques, perhaps foremost among them, also to the Stars Academy, that have materials and are funding research. Jacques is a meticulous scientist, so he's sending it to peer review in multiple labs.
Okay, shut up. You see his eyes, dude. He's Eeyore, confirmed. Wow, we've been exposing freaking Ninja Turtles and Winnie the Pooh characters left and right. Y'all need to get on y'all's game. Look at this. Spell is broken. He's Eeyore, dude. The physical evidence of extraterrestrials? This is Tucker right here. You're being pulled on. His actual name is Cucker Carlson. All right, so let's get into some gravy. This is wild. This is the 2021 Seattle New Year celebration at the Space Needle. Okay, let's check it out. Oh, actually, let me say something real fast. Hey, what's up, guys? The whole point is we broke it all down. Look, this is all clearly being engineered and orchestrated, right? And this is climb. You know, we've hit 2021. We discussed it's actually not where the year begins. The year doesn't end until March. That's where the year begins. But of course, that means that if they ramp things up over the next 3 months, it will actually just be the tail end of when they really started it. All when it came to COVID or whatever you want to call it, the Holocaust. And that was in March. So March to March is a full year. But the point is now is when they're going to start amping up. Everyone thinks it's 2021. Okay. Now let's pay attention to what they're clearly celebrating and signifying with this. And whoever designed this little creepy Grabbler light show we're about to watch, if you think it's all just a coincidence, you are lost, my man. This is so encoded with symbology. It is wild. It is wild. I've only watched it briefly. There's no way we're going to break this whole spell because I caught like 3 or 4 things in just the few seconds I saw. So, in a world where Seattle put aside its sodomy habits for just long enough to look at some new age light shows. Now, what is this? This is symbolic of the flower of life. And the tree of life. Wow. We're encompassed in a fluid-like medium, and there's heavenly waters above. Don't those look oddly like the things that track people down in the Matrix? Doesn't this look oddly like what they say may be UFOs whenever they're traveling in the sky? Doesn't it look oddly like a bunch of the phenomena that we see in the sky that people call all these different types of things? And there's man-made UFOs, and people conflate them to all the phenomena in the sky. And actually, if you use certain types of photography, you can see these literally what looks like that. This is supposed to be like a jellyfish to the normie, but this is the entities in the sky all around you that you can see using certain frequencies. But whatever, that might be too much. This is the swimming of the entities they want to bring back their reign. Of course, it's a needle. So this is symbolic of what the freaking genetic manipulation does. This is symbolic of the transition into the new form after the genetic modification via mRNA, and it's literally coming around a needle. Oh, so you're reaching. Okay, well, I'm sorry, you can't read spells. I don't know what to tell you. These are the entities in the metaphysical around you. That's everywhere. They know that it's like a fluid-like medium, that there's heavenly waters. And now we're about to watch the freaking needle get encompassed with the transition period of the genetic modification. And it's also, of course, utilizing bioluminescence. So... oh, it's the magic needle. Does that look like a UFO? You guys think that they can't trick you with stuff in the sky yet? Are you guys seeing this freaking light show? Are you seeing this? Clearly, they just made it look like a UFO on purpose. They're telling you they're telling you their future plans. They're recapping, but more so, this is to tell you the future plans. And they're using freaking lights in the sky to do it. They think they're so funny, dude. They think they're so smooth. In a world. Look at the UFO. Wow. Oh, a being came out of the UFO. A metaphysical being came out. Oh, enlightenment. There's the key. This is the key that opens up. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad I get to decode this live with you guys. This is a keyhole, and then literally the key, the angel comes down and gives the key, and then look, an angel popped out. The keyhole comes out of nowhere, and then an angel popped out of it. Are you freaking kidding me? Wow, dude. They're literally showing you their plans. Okay, so let's go. UFO, entity comes out of the UFO. Oh, then the angel gets the key. Wow. It's in Revelation if you don't know. Oh, angel out of the key of the bottomless pit. Yeah. Oh, what was that? What was that, guys? What's this? Oh, we'll cover it in a second. Oh, this is the sky clock and the patterns within. Stacking on top of the prophetic importance of the key. That the angel comes down, gives the key, the angel comes out. This is literally telling you that the sky clock and represents the pattern of sequential events that they're carrying out. Now everything's unifying. Oh, UFO. Points of light. You don't think that they're going to be able to trick people with lights in the skies, guy? Look how that dazzling that is. That just showed you the overall vortex of the energy manifestation on Earth. That's what this is representing. Whoever designed this is in the know, or they were just told what to make it do. Right, this is literally a toroid. Oh yeah, cool. No big deal. Just what everything is. Wow. This is all play on the flower of life. Yeah, there's more of it. Yep, you see it. It's gonna get even more in your face. This is on a freaking needle, guys. It's on a needle. Okay. Watch what goes around the needle. Okay, that's pretty interesting. Oh, let's build a tower. It's gonna be a big tower. Oh, we want to keep going up in the tower? Are those water bubbles? Oh, it's reach heaven again. This is also symbolic of the needle supposedly helping you reach the state of godhood with genetic manipulation. This is the new world. Oh, guys, look, it's a solar system. These are the gods. These are their gods. These are the rebellious angels. That's why they're sitting there. They want, yay, this is their religion. This is their shout out to their gods. They covered the genetic manipulation, the bottomless pit being opened up when the angel brings the key, then the angel comes out. And now we have, of course, the whole driving purpose, which is that they deify the rebellious angels that are called planets, which are just wandering lights in a different part with a different cycle, because they actually were rebellious and then chained up. And these are the council of gods referred to throughout the history of mankind, and that's why they all have deified names. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I just counted. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 7th. And then, of course, the 8th is of the 7th. What pops up? Okay, 1, they're popping up at different times. After they showed you the planets, which are there are 7, and they're deified, and they are behind these different rises of the supposed Antichrist. So here you go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's happened 6 times already throughout the history. Again, they showed you the actual entities behind the driving force of when this happens. And then what's the 7th? What's the 7th one? Oh, a figure arises out of it. That's probably a coincidence. Oh, a giant figure has arisen. Oh, there's the 8th. Now we have fireworks. He took his final form. The merging of the 2, the 7 and the 8th. The 8th is of the 7th. This is literally about the merging of their god that they want to bring back to reign the world, with the Tower of Babel basically being replicated. Oh, but there's more. Why is everything melting all of a sudden? What's going on? Oh, this is the that right there was just showing you, of course, like the Statue of Liberty. This is when supposedly Prometheus brought fire. This is why the Olympics, they hand the torch. Just what the Statue of Liberty is holding, representing illumination, and they're just showing you the torch. This is this is symbolic of the enlightenment, the torch. Once it's taken over, this is its finalized form. Now everyone's basically feeding life force into it. Just to make sure I didn't. There's a moment where it very clearly shows DNA go around the needle. I don't know, I might have missed it. It just very clearly shows the helix structure of DNA go around the needle. It shows a single helix over here, but there's one where it shows a double. Whatever, who cares? I'll link the video. That's a single. It clearly shows. I mean, I have a freaking screenshot of it anyway. All right. We got even more gravy for you. That was pretty crazy, though. If you really saw the symbology in there, it's crazy. And it's a freaking needle, okay? Probably looks like a UFO. And they have the DNA structure roll around it, and it just now gave you the whole play out of bringing about the Antichrist, rebuilding the tower, trying to reach heaven again. And it showed it to you in like one of the most depraved modern-day Sodom and Gomorrah, basically. That was wild. That was wild. If we're being real, I mean, they're showing you straight to your face. Do you see how baffling that could be, or how dazzling that could be? People would never fall for things in the sky after being conditioned subconsciously for 20 years, and they believe that everything the government says is true. And then all they have to do is hear Carlson say, "Oh, but now they've showed themselves today in California. 5 UFOs came and hovered above the ground," and you'll just be like, "Oh my gosh, we need to hope Trump saves us. We got the Space Force now, at least." All right, World Economic Forum. Great resets. Now this was just, this was not planned at all, right? All right. Look at how much information we have about the Great Reset that was just not planned at all. So let's see, where should we go here? Let's go to restoring the health of the environment. No, absolutely not. Shaping the economic recovery. Oh, taxation, inclusive design, future of mobility, air pollution, environment and natural resource security, geoeconomies, future of economic progress, workforce and employment, public finance and social protection, COVID-19, inclusive design. Oh, they just came up with all of this on the spot. Oh, redesigning social contract skills and jobs. There's so much information in this right here. It's mind-blowing. If you want to know their plan, it's just literally sitting right here. Let's see what we got here. Digital economy and new value creation. The disruption caused by the Fourth Industrial Revolution has been accelerated by the Holocaust and increased our need for agility, adaptability, and positive transformation. As the global economy rapidly digitizes, an estimated 70% of new value created over the next decade will be based on digitally enabled platform business models. Okay.
Here's Derek O'Halloran from the World Economic Forum, describing some of the key issues related to shaping the future of the digital economy and society.
The digital economy and society refers to not just the internet and technology, but the tremendous wave of transformation and disruption that this is bringing to every part of our lives, every part of our daily lives, every industry, every region in the world. In December 2018, we have finally reached...
No one cares. Technology for COVID-19. Oh, artificial intelligence is rife with contradictions. It's a powerful tool that is also surprisingly limited in terms of its current capabilities, and while it has the potential to improve human existence, at the same time it threatens to deepen social divides and put millions of people out of work. While its inner workings are highly technical, and the non-technical among us can and should understand. Whatever, dude. Oh, this is all just a coincidence. Okay, all right. Well, this has something to do with COVID. That's why we have to be replaced by robots. You didn't know? Oh, they have a new future plan after the Great Reset for mining and metals also. Okay, what about banking? Oh, yeah, of course they do. The financial crisis transformed the way we view the interaction between banking, capital markets, economies, and economics and politics. We must find a way for the global economy to reach its potential while also minimizing the risk of destabilizing side effects. Tighter global regulation, efforts to develop capital markets that operate in healthy coexistence with a bank-based financial centralized grabbler system. we could be here all day. Digital communications. The amount of information in this, guys, if you think they just made this up this year, you've lost your mind. The digital communications industry is facilitating unprecedented levels of global internet use, online social interaction, and financial inclusion. As the industry has transformed, effective policy and regulation that support businesses could boost productivity. Oh, the Internet of Things. The Internet of Things, or IoT, surrounds us with the networks of smart web-connected devices and services capable of sensing, interconnecting, interfering, and acting. Internet governance. Oh, users are ripe for exploitation by the government's dominant business model of targeted advertising and protection. With this asymmetry must become an internet governance priority. Any governance efforts can be judged according to their ability to protect dignity. Without that, the internet has the potential to evolve into an instrument of factional struggle. Oh, so what we need to do is give some major international entities power and control over the internet. Then that's what we should do, huh? Future of computing. In the not-too-distant past, computing was limited to a few large machines installed at a handful of universities. Now, fully fledged information and entertainment systems are sitting in just about everyone's pockets. New approaches like quantum computing, which really... Let's just come over here and talk about this for a second, dude. What is quantum? Okay, all quantum is, it means the small scale, okay? Quantum attempts to quantify. Okay, so quantum attempts to quantify, and typically it's an attempt to quantify the immaterial. This is a futile pursuit that cannot be done. You cannot quantify the immaterial. So what you then do is you see effects, observable phenomena within the immaterial that is all around us. You then presuppose a materialistic nature, even though it's literally the opposite of that and it's immaterial. After your presupposed materialistic nature and achieving physicality where it simply is not, you then begin to quantify the effects, just basically reifying and presupposing the materialistic claim that you made in the first place. That's why quantum physics, although experimentally valid, its interpretations are pretty much useless because they're just flooded down with pseudoscientific presuppositions of materialism. Anyway, so when they say quantum computing, all that means is the efficacy on the subatomic scale, on the small scale of energy transfer, is greatly and drastically improved, where they've actually targeted the technological efficacy on the smaller scale of energy. That's all it is. Everything is pressure mediation and energy. So when they're looking at things on the small scale and they're like, oh, look, here's an atom and an electron, and they don't know that the electron is the terminal end of one unit line of dielectric conduction, which simply means just a gap in a dielectric field. It's literally nothing other than a gap in a field. But then they quantify that gap, and they're like, oh, look, I promise it's a physical particle. And they just make up all this crazy fairy tale nonsense. So when you see the word quantum computing, yes, is the typical connotation and denotations of terminology within quantum physics flooded down with pseudoscience. Yes, of course it is. It requires presuppositions of interpretations of materialistic confinement. But it does not mean that there is not major leaps in technological advancement when it comes to computing. It's simply just objective. All you have to do is go look up the algorithm processing speeds compared to just a year ago or just 5 years ago, and it's getting wild. And that's why they had to update this infrastructure to utilize these computers on a giant scale. And the only way you can do this is you have to account for energy excess is going to result in heat. So you have major systems in place so that it will actually control the energy access and create a very cold climate for these computers to work at crazy speeds. And they're setting these hadron colliders, which again, they're not shooting physical particles at each other. That's pseudoscience all around the world tactically and geographically with tactical reasoning, right? So that you can have the network, the cooling systems of the main computing hubs with the cooling system around it, and then you have them set up in a network geographically consistent with its range of communication with optimal conditions or optimal, latency, download speed, etc. That's all this is. They're building the infrastructure right now. They're building it right now. You're like, oh, that sounds like things of science fiction. Yeah, it does, but they're building it, bro. They're building it right now. Like, oh, they want to build this. This sounds like Fahrenheit 451 or 1984. Well, okay, but they did it. They're doing it. They've already done it pretty much. So where do you go from here? Well, you definitely don't just act like it's not real. That's probably the dumbest thing you can do. Don't you think? It's where This is why it's still like hats off to Owen Benjamin, man. That Owen is telling you what you need to do. He's right. I mean, the only thing to do is to, for one, get right with God, and then two, realize that you need to get out of the beast system and you need to try to be self-sustainable. This is the only way to go from here, you know, and try to wake people up to become less dependent on the system before it's too late. If you think that you're going to go back in time a year where before everyone was completely brainwashed and then prevent them from building the towers and the Starlink systems and the quantum dot technologies that have come out and the patenology for the cryptocurrency cloud connection like you're a robot, you are not going to go back in time and stop these people. What you have to do is maneuver, you know, adequately, maneuver smoother. I used to call my detail business that. Anyway, so now y'all get the gist here. You need to wake up. They're building a freaking infrastructure around you to make you a slave. I'm not into fear porn. This isn't fear porn. This isn't fear mongering. This isn't a black pill thing. This is like a, well, let's not be an idiot thing, and let's not ignore what's right in front of us because it makes us uncomfortable. That's what globe earthers do, for example. That's what maybe a sodomite would do, and I tell him that's an abomination. He's going to get sick and die earlier than everyone else. And then, no, he wants to be a special boy with fancy pants and lollipops and a little sodomite. So, no, I must be wrong. It can't be an abomination. Oh, I'm not ready for the Antichrist to be here. I have kids. This wasn't in my plan. So I'm not even going to look at the postulation that Trump could be the Antichrist because I'm not ready for the Antichrist to come here. This can't be the end because I don't want it to be the end. It may not be the end, but if it is not, preparedness isn't going to somehow like handicap you. But I guarantee you, sitting here trying to tell me that somehow Trump is legit and that he's not in on some big play and there's nothing real significant going on right now. What in the world is going on? I'll never understand some people. Just grow up. Grow up. I know you might think, well, that's easy for you to say, Austin. You're freaking 28 and you don't even have a wife. You don't have any kids. I do concede it's definitely different for someone that does already. I want them. What do you think? How do you think I feel? At least you got to have kids. You know, like I don't want to start thinking that they're trying to make their major move right now or within the next 10 years. You know, but like I'm just calling it like I see it, and you people need to remove the bias because there's going to. When the Antichrist comes, there's going to be a group of people who have young children. It's not like no one has kids for 20 years before the Antichrist comes, so no one's uncomfortable. You don't know whether or not you are within that generation in which you have young children, but I can assure you that just because you have young kids or no one has kids because they're baby goats, because you have young children and it's uncomfortable for you, that maybe, just maybe, you're in a crazy time in the overall history's timeline, so we'll just throw that out and we'll act like Trump's just sketchy because of small reasons, like he isn't calling out vaccines. Like, oh, what about the fact that he's Jesuit trained? Can we talk about that for a second? That he took some type of oath with a dagger and blood? That's no big deal. Allegedly. They're going to hit everyone with dues who moved to the countryside, unfortunately, but it's still the only shot. Whoa, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Of course, due being directed energy weapon, they have the capabilities to maybe do that, but really, it would just not even be viable to do that on a large scale because tracking everyone down per capita, basically. So, like, those people, you know, with their ratio of people per acre would be very, very difficult. Take a lot of resources, and they can't do anything by force anyway. They coax compliance, and they weed you out, and they break you down. They break the weak. That's what happens in the end, at least. So I don't know. You know, if something like that were to happen, you just got to take it on the chin. Definitely got to know God's real get right with God. But thank you for the super chat, Brian Williamson. It's much appreciated, as is all of the support. While we're at it, let's check out D-Live. Thank you for all the lemons. Look at these legends. We got Karen in at the top. Thank you very much. What a legend. Crushing. Nico Bear, second place, always crushing. Mr. LA, third place. Thank you for the lemons. You are the best. The Antichrist came and went. We're well into Revelations, bro. There is no come and went in Revelation. I don't know what you're talking about. The Antichrist doesn't come and go. He doesn't eventually get killed, though. All right. Anyway, let's come back over here. What was I going to go back and show y'all? There's something I wanted to show y'all. Oh, we're going to find it. What y'all know about those clicks, bro? There's a video of the little Grabbler Trump himself somewhere. Where did it go, guys? All right, whatever. Forget it. Oh, here it is. Thought you were going to give me with that ad.
Importantly, I'm hereby directing the Department of Defense and Pentagon to immediately begin the process necessary to establish a Space Force as the 6th branch of the armed forces. That's a big statement. We are going to have the Air Force and we are going to have the Space Force, separate but equal. It is going to be something so important. This time we will do more than plant our flag and leave our footprints. We will establish a long-term presence, expand our economy, and build the foundation for an eventual mission to Mars, which is actually going to happen very quickly. Today, I'm thrilled to sign a new order, taking the next step to create the United States Space Force. So important. When you look at defense, when you look at all of the other aspects of where the world will be someday, I mean, this is the beginning. It's a very important process. It's the future. It's where we're going. I suspect whether we like it or not, that's where we're going. It's space. That's the next step. And we have to be prepared. Our adversaries, and whether we get along with them or not, they're up in space and they're doing it and we're doing it. And that's...
yeah, what a cool story, dude. Bro, go in on the problem with not having kids again. All right, will do. B. Shannon now. Thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated, as is all the supports. What's the problem with not having kids? Well, there's tons of problems. One of the main reasons that they broke up the family, though, is because say that men that have a family, they have something to fight for. So, you know, analogy I always use, they break in your house, but you don't have a family. You're like, all right, whatever, you got me. You got kids, no one's getting in your house. No one's even getting too close to the front door. So when you have a family, you have something to fight for. You're not as easily conquered. Of course, beyond that, you have a family and then you're supposed to be fruitful and multiply. So, well, they don't want there to be more people. They're trying to make everyone sterile. The last thing they want you to do is actually reproduce. Of course, if a child's raised with two parents and they're taught morality and logos, they're much more successful. And then you wouldn't be able to create such a major chasm or schism, you know, separation. What's the word? Chasm between like the upper class and the lower class. So this is one of the main reasons they had to break the family. And of course, they think that they're special by understanding the importance of family, lineage, tradition, oral teachings, and they've made sure that none of you goyim even understand that what that is, and they've detached you from the importance of family. And of course, just having children in and of itself, I hear, is one of the biggest blessings you can ever have, and it puts things into perspective. So that's pretty much where I am on that. I mean, yeah, I would love to have children. I think that's what you're supposed to do. And in fact, in Enoch, it explains. He's like talking to the angels, like, I didn't get, you don't get women, you don't get marriage. Like, you aren't like the humans. I gave that to the humans so that they would long for nothing, because they will automatically long and lust after the flesh. They will have the fleshly desire of women. So I gave them marriage and children and family so they will have nothing to long for. It is thus clearly telling you it is like the biggest blessing that God gave you. So, I mean, if God thinks this is like the biggest blessing you can have, I would say it has to be pretty important, right? Children are everything. Yeah, for real. Certainly when you raise them with logos, it's the future. Thank you, Michael Lyon, for 777. You're the man. Appreciate it. God Rockin' just pledged $5 on Patreon. Thank you, God Rockin'. God Rockin's a legend from 24/7. And if you don't know, link in the description, 24/7 Flyers Discord. Really good pertaining to the Earth discussion. You can't go in there just talking about whatever. They try to keep it specific to the subject, but there you go. I'll add you to the list when I make the new video, bro. Shout out Matt Prince, Jeremy Bird, Richard Hepner, Brian Williamson, and God Rockin'. All patrons, all of them, but God Rockin' is on the new little video I made. David, $5 on Cash App, saying, "You killed that debate. Thank you for what you do, bro. Thank you for the $5. Thank you for the compliments. Much appreciated." And I think we're good on everything else. PayPal. We're good. All right, cool. Now we got housekeeping out of the way. Nailed it. Good. I'm glad that you liked my answer. And B. Shane, no, thank you once again for the $5 super chat. You are the man. I'm assuming Shane, of course, is Mel's name. Yeah, and of course, the big part too is whenever you obey God, you're blessed by God. And so if you instill and adhere to the natural order of God, man, woman, child, you'll be blessed. And the last thing the Gravelers want, that are little Luciferian psychopaths, is for you to be blessed by God, who they have literally no chance of in any way impeding. So there's most of the reasons. Yeah. Oh, look, we still got a bunch of legends over here in D-Live. You don't know what love is until you have a child. Did Austin fail to see the fakeness of the hologram light show? Maybe I missed something, but sheesh, that's surprising. What are you talking about? Do you understand that it was like basically my whole premise? God, bro, do people even listen? He hasn't gone to XRP. That's what we'll do. We'll talk about that. All right, guys, here's the deal. A bunch of people, they're kind of freaking out because they went and got XRP a little bit late and it corrected. So I'm going to break it down for you guys. I told everyone to invest in XRP at 16 cents. I did continue to tell everyone it's a great investment because it is. The technology of it is unprecedented. So what has happened is the SEC has come out and said that they filed a lawsuit against Ripple under the idea that they're a security. Ripple is not a security objectively. If you've researched it, you'll know this. But of course, it doesn't really matter. The news alone, dumb people go panic and they sell. So it dropped. We actually may correct back to around 17 cents. That's the marker. They love the number 17 cents. They actually manipulate XRP's price. It's hit 1776 numerous times. It did it on freaking the 4th of July. So they're just messing with stuff. Anyway, we know what 17 is. It's the number of years it takes to complete Jesuit training, right? So anyway, watch out for that number. But if you just look at the pattern of the actual market, that will be where it catches if it does correct again. And we may stay around 21, 22 until we shoot back up. But there is possible for one more correction. For me, I don't really have any money because I'm having to like pay all my bills and then take off and have to, have whatever money I can. I don't even know really how that's all going to work out. So I don't really have money to invest. But if I did, if that corrects back down to 17 cents, I'd throw the freaking crib at it. I'd throw the whole house at it because I know it's going to happen. So basically what will happen is that when it comes out that the SEC either cancels their lawsuit or they lost, XRP will skyrocket and a bunch of cryptos will collapse. So no one knows what's really going on. Bitcoin's shooting up a lot right now. And I told everyone, like, if you wanted short-term return on investment, Bitcoin and some of these other altcoins is the way to go. They will be successful, more successful in the short run than XRP. I told everyone that. And Bitcoin will correct here soon. Bitcoin's coming back down. It literally cannot sustain this level of growth in a speculative market. So BTC is going to correct. Maybe if you made some good profit return on BTC before it corrects, not necessarily right now. Like, none of this is financial advice. You throw it in XRP when it's low. XRP is going to shoot up. It might even get a price set. What you're going to get is regulatory clarity, meaning no one really knows what's going on with cryptos. The government's been kind of quiet, but hinting that they're going to go at it. No one knows what's going on. Oh, what's going on? XRP will be the spearhead that is literally at the forefront of regulatory clarity. right? Meaning like, oh, now they're not just having to operate in the shadows. They're straight up and they've been doing this for years and years and years, which is why I knew I told everyone I was comfortable telling everyone to invest. They've been doing this for years. They went straight to the Federal Reserve from the jump. They're not trying to go around and illegally make the money. And that's why XRP will be propped up. The fact that XRP is in the news regarding the SEC is actually a good thing. That means that they're considering them a legal entity in which they have to hold them to a certain standard. Once they're proven to not be a security and they're deemed a currency, XRP will explode. So there you go. Take it or leave it. You don't have to invest whatever, but you can just leave your money in a bank where it does nothing, or you can time correctly. You buy the dips and you always buy low, sell high. I can't make perfect predictions for you. Like if I had more money, I would probably know more about I'd be maybe better at predicting it because I would invest more time into it. I don't have money. I'm basically just doing this for you guys. Like I just occasionally look into XRP just to come back and like update you guys because I feel I need to once I encourage everyone to get it. But anyway, there you go. And so yeah, Coinbase is delisting, meaning you can't buy or sell XRP on like January 19th, but you still get to maintain all of your tokens. What they're doing is they're shaking out all of the retail investors with weak hands that are nervous. They're shaking them all out, and then it's going to pop back up. All the billionaires are just refilling their pockets and refilling their bags of XRP right now as they shake out the smaller investors because they get nervous and panic sell. That's literally all that's going on right now. It's really pretty obvious. A tip for the gravy ladler. Thank you. What are your thoughts on weed? I don't think it's bad inherently. I think that very few things are, and all seed-bearing plants for the good of mankind, but the abuse of anything is bad. And we are supposed to try to keep a sober mind, because the devil's like a lion that's looking to devour. So it's depending, I guess, on like maybe how it affects you, and the abuse of anything that is a substance that alters your state of mind is bad. That includes, I guess, coffee. And can you expand on how to stay on the godly path away from the sexual stimulation out there? That's a tough one, man. That was like the real tough one for me. It's just a process, but what you definitely have to do if you haven't done this yet is stop watching porn. Not only does it like just like literally degrade your brain, like literally degrade your brain, and it's more addictive than heroin when they're looking at the CT scan, the brain activity, comparing addiction to porn to drugs. But even more than that, what it does is it desensitizes you to depravity. This is why it's free and owned by almost all of it's owned by the gravelers. Whatever isn't either way, it just desensitizes you to depravity. Therefore, that will become the norm. In addition to that, desensitizes you from women in and of itself. So what it does is that controls the way that you think. And so if you're watching and consuming porn, you're going to sexualize any situation. I know. And outside of that, even beyond that, it doesn't just disappear once you wean off porn. But if you're watching porn, it's going to be really hard. And yeah, you just really what you need to do is you need to have a goal or idea that you want a wife with kids, and then start thinking about if you want a quality wife that's pretty and smart and like loves God and wants to have children and is based. If you're going to have like standards like that for yourself, which you should, then you need to think, well, if I want this standard of a woman, what would I need to be deserving of that quality of a female? And running around hooking up with everyone, isn't it? Right. So you should have to think about, you have to reprioritize, like temporal sex is nothing. And trust me, I can tell you from experience, it actually just desensitizes you. It makes you not even really enjoy sex as much when you just like hook up randomly. And also there's spiritual residue with that. So there's my answer. Bro, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for the support, brother, man. Anthony Bear, excellent, my man. Do you have an email or something? I want to send you a cool experience I did. Yeah, Whitsitt@protonmail.com. Also, WitsitGetsIt@gmail.com. But I check the Proton Mail more often. My Gmail's flooded with all kinds of stuff. Yeah, Whitsitt@protonmail. Hit me up, bro. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Are we caught up? Oh, B. Shannon, no, hit me with another $5 super chat. You are the man. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. How do I not be a crackhead? Just don't do it. Wean yourself off touching your own ween for the win. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Thank you, Red, for plugging the P.O. box. I haven't actually checked my P.O. box yet. I wonder if I have anything. I worry about the young people growing up with access to porn. Yeah, like freaking 12 years old. Like every type of free porn you can imagine. Dude, I don't even want to get into it. Like, dude, there's trannies in there. They want you to think about incest. And, oh, it's just depravity central, man. I mean, that's why it's free, guys. Imagine thinking it's just a coincidence that porn is free. All right, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the quick recap thing. And I'm going to start doing, it's going to be a lot more time consuming to do this, but I have faith that it seems like we have a pretty nice core group of people here that, I don't think they're going to leave me hanging. So I may just kind of like look at this like my primary focus, right? This channel, so where I put a lot more time into it. I think y'all are going to have my back. I don't think y'all are going to leave me hanging. So anyway, one thing I'm going to start doing is, it just sucks. I'm going to have to go through my streams. I hate watching my own streams back. Like, I hate it. But I have to like breeze through my streams and make highlight segments. I would say I'd love if someone else would do that for me, but I don't know. Like, I want to be able to pick it. I think maybe they won't pick the same parts I do. So I'm just going to start editing the videos to 5 or 10 minute clips. So the day after the night stream, in the morning, I'll upload like a 5 to 10 minute recap video so everyone can watch it, because we all know that in 2020, 2-hour videos, you click on 2-hour videos, like, I can't watch this. I'm out of here, So we're going to start doing that. I'm trying to decide if I should go back and do all of them, or like do like the last 10 or something, or if I should just start a new, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's a great idea. Yeah, I'm going to do it for sure. 2 hours is too long for some people, bro, Are you familiar with the channel called Try Thinking, ran by Emma UK Discord server? I am not. Try Thinking. Emma UK sounds super familiar. I think I've met her on Discord, though. But no, I'm not. Tell me more. Thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. I like 2-hour videos. Well, some people do, It's like if someone doesn't know about digital or like the Great Reset, I don't want them to have to watch 2 hours to hear about it, though, living pretty close to Germany. All right, here comes the recap. Okay. So, title of the stream, Great Reset, and we are going to do a recap as to what that means. All right, 2020, welcome to Clown World, where in 2013 it was predicted in a rap song that this would happen. 2020 combined with coronavirus, body stacking. Oh, what's the 2020 quarter? That was determined years in advance. Oh, it's a bat. So, yeah, they say that some flu came from someone eating a bat in China. And, of course, boom, 2020 quarter has a bat on it. Probably just a coincidence. Of course, the cartoon movie by Disney called Tangled is about this princess named Rapunzel who gets quarantined to an island called Corona. Probably just a coincidence. So, anyway, moving on. These are just the correlations between coronavirus and the movies. Here, of course, we have a Korean documentary or Netflix series in which they talk in detail about the virus and how it mutates and how they don't have a vaccine for it and how a bunch of people are going to die, it attacks respiratory illness, and how it's the same as the flu. This came out in 2018, but probably just another coincidence. And then, of course, in 2010, the Rockefellers themselves, with the Rockefeller Foundation, came out with scenarios for the future of technology and international development, and it breaks down how there will be like 3 waves of illness. They mutate and get worse and worse, how they're going to have to introduce digital ID and a digital tracking system and update the economies and how they're going to have to shut down the economy step by step and wean people off of or coax people into sustainability on the states, depending on state for sustainability. It's all laid out. And this came from 2010. It's laid out exactly how they want to do everything. The years right here will be off because it will be expedited. That's one of their main grappler tricks. So anyway, 2010 basically predicted exactly what we've experienced over the last year. But of course, Rockefellers are here to save you, and that's probably just another coincidence. Great Reset's all in the news everywhere. Great Reset, Great Reset. It was even in Times Square on a giant billboard. Oh, the year of the Great Reset. Oh, Bitcoin, Great Reset. Oh, the Great Reset. Oh, the Great Reset. They're just trying to subliminally get you ready for, of course, what they want to do, which is to update the infrastructure, New World Order, Great Reset, World Economic Forum. There's an urgent need for global stakeholders to cooperate into simultaneously managing the direct consequences of the Holocaust crisis to improve the state of the world. The World Economic Forum is starting the Great Reset Initiative. It tells you right here, drawing from the vision and vast expertise of the leaders engaged across the forum's communities, the Great Reset Initiative has a set of dimensions to build a new social contract that honors the dignity of every human being, to inform all those to determine the future state of global relations, the direction of national economies and priorities of societies, the nature of business models and management of global commons. So literally they're setting up an entire infrastructure. But how could they ever do this? There's no way they could have a great reset. This has just got to be a joke to scare you into accepting some new economic system or something. Right? This can't be like an actual great reset. There's no way, because they have to track everybody. Oh, well, coincidentally, in this same year, they came out with all this propaganda about the Holocaust that was, again, predictably programmed in like more ways than I could even possibly cover right now. Then we have this same year, ID 2020 comes out, and it's where they want to literally give everyone in the world a digital ID, including people that live in remote areas. And they explain how they're going to do this, how it's going to connect to the cloud, and everyone's social media accounts, driver's license, medical records will be within their digital identification. And we need one for every single person in the world because, well, times are so hard, it's so scary, the air is going to kill us. We got to track everyone for safety. But that's no big deal. No way they could really track everyone, though, right? Because if they're going to try and track us, they'd have to have a way to connect us to the cloud. Oh, well, once again, 2020, probably coincidence it came out this year. 2020, 060606. What a convenient number there. Probably another coincidence. In which it's actually a Microsoft patent where they can use a device connected to the body. And using this device, they can actually attain the algorithmic breakdown of your body activity. And then based on compliant body activity and the connection of the user device to the human into the communication network and the cryptocurrency cloud, they can reward you based on compliant activity. I'll read it real fast. Human body activity associated with the task provided to a user may be used in a mining process of a cryptocurrency system. A server may provide a task to a device of a user which is communicatively coupled to the server. A sensor communicatively coupled to or compromised in the device of the server may sense body activity of the user. Body activity data may be generated based on the sensed body activity of the user. The cryptocurrency system communicatively coupled to the device of the user may verify if the body activity data satisfies one or more conditions set by the cryptocurrency system and award cryptocurrency to the user whose body activity data is verified. So literally, if you're a good goyim and a obedient slave, you get paid with cryptocurrency because you're connected to the cloud, and then of course it tracks your body activity with the device which will be implemented into you. Digital ID. Here's how you would track the body activity to the cloud, but there's no way that they could pull this off, right? Because it would take way too much bandwidth. Oh well, just simultaneously in 2020 they built more 5G infrastructure than ever in the history of mankind, and it's just being expedited all around the world. This, of course, has a bandwidth capability that's unprecedented, and this is how you would actually be able to maintain the infrastructure update. But come on, that's just on the ground. There's no way they can get full surveillance just from occasional towers in already civilized areas. Oh, well, don't worry. They're going to put high-altitude balloons or self-sustainable drones that they're going to call satellites up all over the world called Starlinks. Oh, well, they did this in 2020 also. Probably just a coincidence they're creating an entire network electronic grid system of surveillance all within the same year that the clearly known about Holocaust propaganda psyop popped off. But there's no way that they could actually pull this off, because how would they even facilitate this body device into, or this device into your body itself? They could never do that. Oh, well, of course, quantum dot tattoo, and coincidence that it's administered onto your wrist, I'm sure, even though there's a prophecy about thousands of years ago that told you that it's something to do with your forehead and your wrist. And now they're scanning people's forehead as they enter establishments, and quantum dot tattoo goes on your wrist. Instead of ink, this highly specific medical record consists of copper-based quantum dots embedded in biocompatible micron scale capsules. Their near-infrared dye is invisible, but the pattern they set can be read and interpreted by a customized smartphone. So very simply, quantum dot, what it does is it actually, utilizing a luciferase enzyme and bioluminescence, it tracks the body activity in your body, or the light activity in your body. Within 9 months, it can actually create capabilities where in which it can fully predict your body activity to a T. And of course, this is invisible to the naked eye. It can only be seen within a certain spectrum of vibration and or light with a certain device. So they could stamp you, super convenient, wouldn't even really feel it. No one could see it. They could only see it with their device. And it tells you, of course, this can actually be in a smartphone. They would just give you an app where you can see who effectively has the mark. Again, using luciferase enzyme, trapping body activity with nanoparticles. So combining all of this is very simple. They want a great reset. They're going to ID everyone with a digital ID. They're going to update this to a cryptocurrency system. And if you have compliant body activity, say you're not allowed to leave your house, or you only go within 5 miles of your house, or you have to isolate, whatever they tell you, social distance, as long as you are a good slave, you'll get cryptocurrency fake money back with nothing and just representing of numbers sent to you through the cloud as your obedient robot. And they have 5G to keep up with the bandwidth. They're rolling it all out in 2020, as they are Starlinks on the sky to connect with the ground system and have a network system of surveillance in the sky. And of course, they will facilitate this surveillance methodology via quantum dot technology. Moving on, clearly one of the big parts of this pending deception is the idea of aliens. So they're sensationalizing the idea all around the world. Here you go, very popular movie trailer where we watched. It's just sensationalizing the idea of aliens and declassification and disclosure being around the corner. Of course, we have Space Force, Donald Trump, who some flat earthers actually think is legit somehow. Not sure how that happens, but he of course starts Space Force militarizing the idea of space, which of course you can't go to the way that they define it. It's a medium that defies natural law. But I wonder why they're doing this. Oh, for the last year, we covered that Fox News, for example, a mainstream media news station, has been pumping UFOs all year. April, UFO video, Pentagon releases footage of unidentified aerial phenomena, but says it's not out of the ordinary. Okay. July 24th, with Pentagon UFO unit in the spotlight, report mentions off-world vehicles not made on this earth. Okay, so a Pentagon report talking about it. No big deal. Oh, December 4th, leaked reports from Pentagon UFO task force discuss non-human technology, mysterious objects. Once again, the Pentagon, the Pentagon is actually just a Jesuit war room, literally. And they're coming out talking about UFO task force discusses non-human technology, mysterious objects. Fox News seems to be real obsessed with the UFOs this last year, but they're probably just trying to get the truth to you. And they have no agenda. December 21st, former CIA director says unexplained phenomena might constitute a different form of life. CIA now. Okay, Pentagon, CIA, talking about different life, UFOs, all kinds of extraterrestrial nonsense. December 21st, Fox News, once again, all throughout the year. We'll go as recent as 3 days ago. Coronavirus bill started a 180-day countdown for UFO disclosures. They're telling you right now what their play is. 180 days, of course, is only really relevant if you understand the prophetic importance of using the Enoch calendar. This is exactly 6 months of 30 days, of course, in the Gregorian calendar nonsense they gave us. It would not be 180 days. That would just be a random accumulation of 24-hour periods in clown world. But nevertheless, what a coincidence, the coronavirus bill, which they told you has nothing to do with it. And of course, we had to give Israel $500 million in it because why not? We always got to give them some money. I think it was $5 million, but anyway. They say in the very stimulus package that there's a 180-day deadline where they have to come out and tell you about UFOs. So get ready. Here comes the propaganda. Here comes the psyop of all psyops. And then Trump comes out talking about I demand that we recognize Space Force as an actual military branch. And this is right after they passed 180 days. We watched the Seattle New Year 2021 Space Needle fireworks show, which was pretty interesting. It's just holographic technology pretty clearly. Right here, this represents the tree of life and the flower of life. And then we go to right here where things are swimming around. This represents the entities, metaphysical entities that are all around you within the fluid-like medium that is above you and with all around you, because we're in a fluid-like medium even here on Earth. These are the entities that they're trying to bring about. This is the needle, of course. This is the transition that the needle will give you, which will be actually a complete and total negative. Let's see. Of course, they got it. They make sure to point out that this thing looks like a UFO a few times. They make it look like a UFO taking off. There you go. UFO. Yay. Here we go with the sky clock. They're telling you about how all that's happening is based on a pattern recognition of the sky clock and prophecies within. Then this is the key. And of course, we know that the angel comes down, gives the key to the bottomless pit. And then you see the keyhole right here turning back and forth. And then an angel pops out of it. Probably just a coincidence, as they have a single helix structure, not the full helix structure, a single strain of DNA coming around. And again, these are the clocks representing the timelines. And then everything comes together after they get the key, which is the one world order being signified, of course. This is the very energy manifestation that we experience always. It's the electromagnetic field that encompasses us. Of course, is the middle vortexual manifestation within the toroid. And that's what they're showing you right in front of your face. This is this right here. This is another shout out to sacred geometry. You see it? Sacred geometry, the flower of life. That's what this is all about. Tree of life, flower of life. This is symbolic of rebuilding the tower. And you see it's getting bigger as it gets to the base. They want to rebuild the Tower of Babel, or better coined, the Tower of Grabble. Anyway, this just now was gone, and here you go. They tell you what it's all about. It's about the quote-unquote planets, which is, of course, their gods. It's just the rebellious angels, and that's what they're telling you this is all about. They're bringing about their reign once again. Then it shows you 6 of them. It shows you 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The Antichrist has been here 6 times, and, of course, there's the 7th, which is technically the final, but the 8th one is the final, but he's of the 7th. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. After showing you the planets, which are the ones that are actually leading all of these previous Antichrist incarnations, as we're told in Scripture. And that's why it shows you right after it shows you the planets. It shows you this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the figure that pops up to represent the 7th, which would be the Antichrist figure prior to taking the final form, which would be the 8th, who's of the 7th. So that would mean that this needs to transform, though. Oh, well, there you go. There's the transition. There's the updated version. And so they're telling you about the son of perdition rising to power. And, of course, it shows you the helix structure of the DNA in here as well. Right there, going around the yeah, there you go. Going around the needle itself. So this is about the needle manipulating your genetics and then turning you into, you know, whatever entity you want to call yourself afterwards. And then here is something else. If anyone wants to look into it, I'll link it for you. It's the World Economic Forum. This is their plan for the Great Reset. And to think that they came up with this over the course of a few months is lunacy. It's so detailed, it would blow your mind. Whether it comes to microchips, digital IDs, artificial intelligence, new economic system, digital economy, and new value creation, harnessing the 4th industrial revolution, shaping economic recovery, redesigning social contract skills and jobs, restoring the health of the environment, developing sustainable business models, revitalizing global cooperation. You can click on any part of this. And just going to tell you 5G, digital identity. So I'll link this for you, but it's pretty wild. It's all out here for you. They've had this plan for years. It's way too intricate for them not to have. And then we found out that Tucker Carlson, better coined Cucker Carlson, is actually nothing more than the human personification of Eeyore. Because look, I mean, they literally look identical. Look at their eyes. So basically, really fast, all it's all about is. This is the Great Reset. They've known about this for a long time. Coronavirus has been subliminally put into your mind to be accepted for a long time. They knew about it. They even told you how they were going to control you and turn this world all on its head based on an idea of a virus in the Rockefeller Foundation paper published in 2010. And, of course, they're hitting you all around the place with the Great Reset, so that they can give you an digital ID all around the world. Every single person, no exceptions, connect you to the cryptocurrency cloud based on compliant body activity using 5G bandwidth and Starlink coordination in the sky. They will, of course, facilitate the device that is tracking your body activity with quantum dot tattoo, uses luciferase enzyme and bioluminescence and nanoparticles to track body activity or light activity within the body. They're sensationalizing the idea of aliens. It's all over the place. Space Force is all of a sudden a thing that needs to be recognized as official military branch. And then mainstream news, even Fox News, has been telling you about UFOs all year. And, of course, now we have the coronavirus bill just being passed with a 180-day countdown for UFO disclosure. So welcome to Clown World. They're about to hit you big time. If you want to get into the intricacies of all of the new infrastructure, here is the World Economic Forum just telling you the playbook right in front of you. There's the recap. trying to go too fast or be too reiterative, but it's really simple. They're creating a narrative where in which, well, this will be the great transition. Maybe something steps in, and then Trump's the hero, and even the left likes him because he told us about aliens. Even the people that say they hate Trump, whenever Trump's the guy that comes out and tells you the truth about aliens, no one's going to be mad at him. Everyone's going to be happy. There you go. If he comes out and talks about JFK, well, then I don't think anyone's going to be mad about him telling you the CIA killed JFK either, even though he didn't die and he was a sodomite. Bro, come communicate in Indiana on tour. We can make it happen. Oh, I'm down. I'm definitely down to do that. We're pretty open to anything, man. So just email me at Whitsitt@ProtonMail or email Nathan at flatearthflyers@gmail.com. And thank you for the $5 super chat. Much appreciated. You're a legend, bro. Let me add some lemons over here. Tucker, yeah, it's Cucker Tarleson, dude. Cucker Tarleson. All right, I'm about to get out of here. It's been real, though, guys. All right, anyway. So, yep, there you go. Keep your head on a swivel in clown world. You know what I'm saying? And don't trust anybody. Wait up. Wait up. Wait up. Bro, what? Whatever. I was going to make an Eeyore joke, but whatever. Don't trust anyone that looks like Eeyore. And then when you go outside, you say, look, it's a beautiful day. And it looks like rain again. There's a cloud in the sky. What a loser, dude. All right. It's been real cool. So thanks for all the support. Shout out to patrons. I'll update the list again. We just had a new one. Shout out to anybody that sends me anything on Cash App and PayPal. I'll make sure and read you out. We're going to set up the stream to where PayPals and Cash Apps maybe pop up on the screen, trying to figure it out with StreamYard. If you want to help towards the tour, message me any of the details. I mean, I'm not going to make a point to beg or ask or whatever. I think if someone feels led to help me out, they will. And, I'm just going to jump out there and see what happens. So that's pretty much the way that it goes. Links to support in the description. I see my boy Dearth of Legends here. Let me throw you a wrench since you come here once a year. I might as well make sure I get you while you're here, huh? You just missed that. Yeah, you just missed. You want another recap, Dave? They say I can talk pretty fast, bro. I don't really want to do it. I'll give just a special DK. You gotta listen, Dave, if you're here, man. This is the super fast version. So in Clown World, we were predictively programmed about coronavirus and songs on the quarter and movies. And, of course, the Rockefellers knew about this a long time ago. This is a giant plan. Oh, the Great Reset. What a convenient time to now pull out the Great Reset. Oh, the ID 2020 coincidences came out that same year. Oh, yeah, 2020 060606 to connect you with the digital ID to the cryptocurrency cloud. Came out the same year. Project coincidence. Oh, 5G infrastructure updated all over the world the same exact year. Project coincidence. Oh, Starlink's using coupulative technology with the infrastructure on the ground. Project coincidence. Oh, quantum dot being pushed into modern facilitation methodology of inoculations. Project coincidence, where it actually uses nano-sized particles and bioluminescence using the luciferase enzyme to track your body. You connect it to all of this. Of course, they're going to have a massive surveillance state. That's what the Great Reset's all about. Now they're talking about aliens. This is going to help coax you into the new system. Mainstream's been talking about UFOs, Pentagon, CIA. Oh, man, they just passed a new bill where they said that they have 180 days for UFO disclosure to come out. They're telling you straight up with symbology in this video, which I will, again, link. It's like their whole entire process is right here in the Seattle New Year's Eve thing. And this is the Tree of Life. Again, this is the entities that are all around you they want to bring about. This is a UFO. This is the sky clock, the key. When the key opens, the angel comes out because, of course, the angel gives the key to the bottomless pit, and they all combine here, which is the New World Order. This is sacred geometry once again being represented. It shows you the helix structure of the DNA going around the needle, and then this is where they represent the tower being rebuilt, getting bigger and bigger and bigger as the base increases, as you get closer to the base. And then here are the planets which they actually worship, and they're just wandering stars. They're actual rebellious angels, the way that I see it, though, and that's why they deified them. Once they show you the deities that are behind this great world order, or at least the way that they see it, they show you that this has happened 6 times before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the 7th one who's on the stage right now, all being driven by their deities, right? To introduce a polytheistic one world religion. And this is the 8th, which is prophesied to be of the 7, which is why they gave you the 6. They showed you the 1, then transforms into the final version. That's literally what they want to do. It may seem crazy to you, but I didn't make them crazy. They're just crazy. And then this turns into the representation of illumination, or the torch that we see with the Statue of Liberty. It tracks back to Prometheus handing fire to people. That's why the Olympics, we hand out torches. So there you go. Yeah, Great Reset is this huge technological infrastructure update. This has basically just been the first year, even though the year actually doesn't end till March. So keep an eye on how much they ramp things up till March, because that will actually mark the 1 year of the PSYOP. This is not anything to do with the year. The year starts when life begins every year. It doesn't start in the middle of winter around Nimrod's birthday. So yeah, they're going to ramp stuff up. Could this be a 10-year plan? Sure, I don't know what's going on. I'm not claiming to know exactly where we're at with anything. All we know is they're clearly setting up the new infrastructure, and they're going to use the Hegelian dialectic to get people to accept, basically just signing away all of their rights and privacy because of some technological convenience. So there you go. There's the recap for like the 3rd time. I love you guys. I got to get out of here, though. It's been 2 hours. Thanks for all the support. Like I said, on D-Live, I think I maybe gave you all some. Oh, I didn't put much lemons in there. All right, well, we'll give you some more lemons next time. I just gave you 50. I normally hook you all up with lemons, though. Sometimes I give more lemons than I get, you know. Anyway, thanks for all the super chats. Thanks for all the lemons. Links to support in the description. Shout out to all the Patreons. Y'all are legends. If you want to hit me up, whitsitt@protonmail.com. Give me a second, because I got plenty of messages. I'm also a messenger on Facebook. DM me on Instagram. I'll get around to them eventually, or at least I'll try to. Yeah, we got some real big gravy streams coming, but I can't make promises on when they get here. I can't rush them. PO box description is also in the link. Won't be here to check it within a couple of weeks, though. I'll have someone checking it anyway. So there you go. Cool. Thanks for all the support. Like I said 500 times already. I got to get out of here. It's been real. It's been cool. It's been real cool. Unplug from the box, more so unplug from the beast system. Just unplug. And this goes for people all across, not just the people that woke up to the earth being flat. You could still be plugged into the beast system. Stop watching the news. Stop watching pornography. Stop being obsessed with sports. Stop being obsessed with the stock market. Stop being obsessed with the stupid nonsense that's on TV and TV shows and Netflix. And stop watching your TV so much just in general, right? Just unplug from the system. Stop eating GMOs. Stop drinking non-clean water. Stop drinking tons and tons of alcohol and taking drugs. Just unplug from the system that desensitizes you and makes you not even realize that you're in effectively the Matrix, which was a super grabble movie, come to find out. But yeah, just unplug from the system. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. Weak-minded people always get together via mob mentality and throw rocks at the stronger, independent people. You should wear that as a badge of honor, much less as you cuck to them and actually, you know, try to fit in. What a lame thing to do. I can't even put that into words. Anyway, so not sure what the stream will be about tomorrow, but I'm sure it'll be some gravy, and I will catch up with y'all on the flip. Peace.
That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big Pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl, somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature that mean extorted it. They forging it if news anchors informants who informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this, we courting ships important. Yes, of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. is it real? Rappers act and say they high, say they sip with pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?